Hey everyone, I'm Jay Pilon from gematria.codes on Twitter, and I'm joined by the illustrious Candyman Hotep of the Hotep Nation.
Salute.
Salute. Appreciate you for joining me, man. I'm a film buff. I've seen a little over 5,000 films in my time. Your channel's looking perfect for some film reviews. I see you got Batman in the background, Captain America, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What were some of the films of give me a film, one film at least of 2021 that you give your Hotep approval to?
2021. Let me think. Honestly, the one film that I would give my approval to, it might be an unpopular opinion, but I liked it a lot. It was Unforgiven with Sandra Bullock.
All right.
That was a great movie. It was one of those Netflix, straight to Netflix movies, but spoiler alert, for anybody out there, basically the movie's about a woman who spent 20 years of her life in jail for a crime she may or may not have committed. And she spent most of the movie trying to get her sister back.
Right.
It was a really, I guess, I don't know if you would call it it wasn't necessarily an action movie. It was more like a thriller / drama, you know what I mean? But I liked it a lot. It was a great movie.
That's good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. And you say it's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. At first I'm like, I don't want to watch this. Like, I'm a fan of Sandra Bullock, but I was like, really? And then when I got into it, I'm like, no, this is a good movie. This is a good movie. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll have to definitely check that out.
Yeah.
You give it the 4 out of 4 koofies?
I'll give it a 3 out of 4 koofies. 3 out of 4 koofies on 3 out of 4 koofies on the on Unforgiven. Real good movie. Some of the runner-ups, Bruised by with Halle Berry in it, where she played the MMA fighter.
Right. I've seen the trailer for it.
Yeah, it was a dope movie. It had some of the they had to throw some LGBTQ blah blah blah, into the movie. But other than even with that in there, it was still a great movie. It kind of reminded me of $1 Million Baby. Remember that?
Right. And that won some awards. I think it won the Oscar.
Yeah, it was a great
for Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, with Clint Eastwood. Yeah,
directorial.
Yeah, it kind of reminds you of $1 Million Baby meets remember War with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton. It kind of reminds you of those two movies.
All right. I like those type of movies
with a little bit of the fighter thrown in there. It was a really good movie.
Sylvester Stallone made those popular back when he came out with the first Rocky.
Yeah,
it launched from there, really.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. That one got 3.5 koofies out of 4 in my opinion.
All right.
And then I would probably say, honestly, this probably could take right now maybe a close second to my top movie for the year. Don't Look Up actually was a pretty good movie. It was pretty funny.
That's a Netflix streaming film.
It is. Yeah, got Leo DiCaprio in it. It had a star-studded cast in there. Jennifer Lawrence was in there. I call the dude like a fake Don Cheadle because at first I thought it was Don Cheadle, but it wasn't him.
Right. If you can't get Don Cheadle, you got to get his replacement.
Right. Yeah. It's like kind of like Meth Damon. That one dude that like Matt Damon a little bit. The equivalent. But then you had Meryl Streep. She was in there. She played a pretty good president. Like, like as far as like this.
Was she a president in one of the other movies too?
Probably.
I thought the female president in Air Force One or one of those movies. I thought.
But she was.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, she was.
Glenn Close, one of them. I think I get them two mixed up.
Yeah, but I like she did a good job. She played like this aloof, like just like corporate interest type president. It was a good movie, but Leonardo DiCaprio, I think he carried that entire movie. Wow. It was a funny movie, but it was a really good movie. I was shocked by it.
A little serious. It had some serious tones to it. I seen the trailer because that's another one I hadn't watched yet.
It had some serious tones, but it was a lot of comedy relief in it, in my opinion. You had Tyler Perry in there with I forgot the one girl's name that he played like it's kind of like a fake Michael Strahan and Kelly Ripa type thing going on.
Okay.
It's kind of making fun of that, but it still gave you this feel of how mainstream media really is and how they really play things up. You know what I mean? Same thing with, like, it almost gave you a feel of Wag the Dog a little bit. You know what I mean? So
Dustin Hoffman movie, right?
Right, that's one of my all-time favorite Koofy movies right there.
Exactly.
Koofy on tight movies.
Right. You got to start with movies like read the book by George Orwell, 1984, watch the film. Right. And delve into that realm, that sphere, so you can see that the narrative that we're being sold is always factual. Right, exactly. Wag the Dog is a great example of that.
Yeah, so it kind of gave me that feel, but it was a funny movie. It was a funny movie, like a funny. What was the movie with Nicolas Cage where his son had found the time capsule? What was that called?
Oh, Knowing, wasn't it?
It was kind of more like a funny The Knowing, almost sort of like doomsday type movie, but it has some serious tones, but it was more like a comedy, almost like a comedy drama. But it had a lot of like occult undertones in it.
Oh, okay.
You know, when you watch it,
symbolism.
Yeah, it had a lot of symbolism in that movie when you watch it. You know what I mean? You pick it up right away. From the way that
it's up my alley every time. The gematria, I know it flies over a lot of people's head, but when I see that numerical symbolism, I'm like, okay, I see what y'all trying to put.
Yeah, see, like, I'm not up to the gematria, but like, I know some people that are, and they like, yo, this got a lot of symbolism in that movie, and you can see it right away.
3.5 Koofies.
Yeah, I give it 3.5 out of 4. In my opinion, I like that movie a lot.
All right.
Yeah. But and then number 1 for me this year was Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the number 1 movie for me this year. You know, it knocked a lot of the like Shang-Chi was a good movie. You know, I thought it was good. See, like, I can suspend my disbelief and disconnect from certain things that I don't like. Like, I'm not a big fan of the tokenization in like movies. You know what I mean? But I can disagree with some of that stuff, but still suspend that belief to enjoy the movie. Like Shang-Chi was a good movie, but Spider-Man, man, I enjoyed that a lot.
I agree with you there. I got to give Spider-Man 4 out of 4 Koofies. It was as good to me. It was as good as Spider-Man 2. It was as good as what was the cartoon?
Spider-Man 2 is the best.
Spider-Man 2 is the best,
in my opinion.
I agree with you there, Cannon. Spider-Man 2 was it sets the bar. Yeah. And I won't drop no spoilers on Spider-Man because some of y'all haven't seen it yet. Right. But it's a reason to get back out to the movie theater.
Yeah, it's definitely.
And one of the reasons that movie has stayed number 1, one of the reasons that movie has the theater packed consistently is that it's pretty much an agenda-free movie. You're going into a movie, Spider-Man, and you're not getting hit over the head with all the pronouns. You're not getting hit over the head with all the agendas. It's not force feeding you some political ideology. It's entertainment, and it goes back to the other ones, and that's why it's a hit. Right, and that's what Hollywood needs to understand is, hey, we want this, what we want to see, and instead they say, oh no, you need to be force fed these other films rather than a film that comes out like Spider-Man that's like, hey, this is what we want.
Right, and I think what a lot of people were missing with it too, right? I think the main ingredient for that movie, because I don't think that even though I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man, a lot of people, they tend to disagree with me. You know, I'm not saying he's the best. I think Tobey Maguire was the best Spider-Man. But I like Tom Holland's depiction of Spider-Man. Exactly. But I think the main ingredient was having Doctor Strange in the movie. That's just my opinion. On top of having Disney Plus come out with WandaVision, and then also having Disney Plus come out with Loki, because it all sets up for what's about to happen in the new Doctor Strange movie. But Spider-Man was the catalyst for what's getting ready to happen in the Doctor Strange movie. Not to give anything away or anything like that, but you know, I'm a fanboy of science, so like, you know, even though I think multiverses are a lazy way to kind of shoehorn certain tokenization in, you know, that's how, you know, you can shoehorn like Miles Morales later on and down the line, you know what I mean? That's how you can shoehorn.
Yeah, you're saying this is another universe where he's doing his thing. This is his playground. Like
right, right. You know, that's how you shoehorn a black MJ, even though her name, you know, wasn't MJ, you know, wasn't Mary Jane Watson. You know what I mean? Like that's how they do that. But as a fan of science and stuff like that, even though it's like it's that fringe science, multiverses and stuff like that, that gets me all the time. You know, I love the shit. Honestly, when before I became Hotep, my red pill was the Mandela effect. Okay. You know what I mean?
So string. What was that? String theory.
Yeah, string Mandela, theory and CERN up there bumping. You know it. Yeah, that was my red pill. I know. Sorry. But that was my red pill. So because I'm into stuff like that. So when I see multiverses and this and that and all that other multi-universe, that stuff gets me. Even though I know it's the writers being lazy and they're trying to figure out how we do this, but it's still it still gets to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they got an avenue now. They can do that with the Star Wars films if they wanted to.
Yeah, they definitely
Disney
can.
is a part of Star Wars. They can come back and say, hey, Rian Johnson messed up. See, that was an alternate universe. Mm-hmm. That was Star Wars Universe 222. And now the original trilogy was in 333. You know, so that's like, because in the Marvel universe, they're talking about that's Earth 616.
Right.
Which is gematria again, but they're saying that's Earth 616, and they're saying this other Earth was whatever 355 or something like that.
Right, and that's where you get the Ultimate Universe, and you got the the Amazing Universe. Like you had the Ultimate Spider-Man, and you got the Amazing Spider-Man. You know what I mean? That's that they can do that. If they
who
want.
Who do you think the main in Spider-Man? Who do you think the main villain of that movie was? To you?
To me?
Who'd you feel like the main villain was?
The main villain to me was Green Goblin.
Yeah,
that was
Hey, same.
Yeah, Green Goblin was the main villain in my opinion. Although I was happy to see Dr. Octopus. That was dope.
Right. Yeah,
that was dope.
dope.
But the main villain in my opinion was the Green Goblin.
Dafoe, man, he does it every time. Yeah. He steals the show.
Yeah.
That was definitely.
I didn't expect Willem Dafoe though. I expected James Franco. I thought it was gonna be James Franco in that costume and it been Willem Dafoe. It was great though.
Oh yeah, like a hobgoblin type of a story or something like that. Yeah, they might do that. They might do something like that in the future, but they got to get back past his allegations,
right?
All the issues.
Because it feels
how they do it.
Because what it feels like Marvel's trying to do, in which DC, I think they failed at it. They could have did it, and they tried it in the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League.
Right.
Where they tried to go into Flashpoint. Where the Flash kind of he messes up, when he goes back to try to save his mom or whatever, he messed up, and they tried to do the same thing in the Zack, which was a great movie as well. It was fucking long, Jesus, that was
now they're talking about bringing back Michael Keaton into the next Flash movie when the Flash movie comes out. They're saying that Michael Keaton will reprise his role as Batman 1989. Yeah,
because I'm assuming they're going if the Flash movie's coming out. It's going to be Flashpoint. It's going to be him going back in time, and you have these
the Crisis on Infinite Earths, the 0 Hour.
Yep, you're gonna have that stuff happening. Which honestly, this is what I don't get about a lot of directors and stuff like that. The source material is perfect. Leave it alone.
Exactly.
Just leave the source material alone and go with that.
Right.
If you want to just make a live, like what they did with Cowboy Bebop, they left the source material alone. And they basically went with that. So it's like, just do that. Like the cartoon movies are amazing. The animated movies are amazing.
They go in trying to shoehorn so many ideologies, and they act like they have to reinvent the wheel when they got the platform right there for them. It's right there for you. Just open the book and take it off. Take off with it.
Right. Why are your animated movies so well renowned and regarded, but your live action sucks ass? Like Aquaman was terrible. Aquaman was terrible.
Aquaman, well,
in my opinion,
they got part 2 coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm shocked that they even made a part 2. Aquaman was not a good
I was
movie.
Okay with Momoa.
Oh no, I think he's a good Aquaman. Just the storyline in his movie was it turned from like an action movie to like Indiana Jones shit. Chasing the woman. I think they try
to kiddify it a little bit here and there, right? It was like, the jokes was silly,
right?
Cringeworthy sometimes. In the movie theater we was in, a lot of people was reacting like, you hear the groans.
Yeah, it was just like the whole love, them chasing the girl and they're having us frolicking and shit. Like no, let's get back to the story. You know what I mean?
You said you went to go see Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
At the theater.
Packed out.
Packed
out. We had to sit at the very front.
Okay, yeah, still. But it's up there, you have to do that.
Yeah, I had to recline the seat back. I'm looking.
You got the food service over there too?
No, only a couple of them do. Only a couple do.
I busted out the pumpkin pie, Candy Hotep.
Yeah, I was shocked at it.
I
was shocked. My wife was like, "This is horrible." I said, "You crazy? It tastes great."
What was some of the movies you've seen that was the worst of 2021?
Let me think. And I usually tend to stay away from certain things. I'm not gonna like it, and I'll kind of back off. But the main movie that I really wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it as a Matrix fan. But this new Matrix Resurrection, it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. It just seemed rushed to me. There was so much agenda in it. I couldn't get with it. I couldn't get with it at all.
I've only seen the first 10 minutes of it, and I didn't like what I saw in the first 10 minutes. I didn't get anywhere into it just yet. I got to go give it time.
Yeah, so I tried to watch it twice. I watched it twice just I wanted to like the movie.
You watched it twice.
I wanted to like it. Am I missing?
The first Matrix is legendary.
Oh yeah.
What? Man.
Yeah.
It's a red pill movie for a lot of people. But I guess you get to Matrix. What is this Matrix? The fourth Matrix is the blue pill.
Right. It's
put you to sleep.
The first Matrix, that was definitely a red pill movie.
Yeah.
Third Matrix was okay. I could take it or leave it. Second Matrix was a good movie. But this one, it just seemed rushed. It was too much. There's no character development. You know what I mean? No character development. It was, like I said, it was agenda driven. You know what I mean? And I kind of expected that, because they transitioned over. You know what I mean? So I had to expect that. But regardless, I still wanted to like that movie. It had some promise, but it lost me halfway through, and I'm like, they just made this just for the sake of it. I hope they don't do it again. Like I said, no character development.
That was one of the worst. That was one of the worst of 2021. Where did that movie Back to the Music, Bill and Ted, did that come out in 2020?
I think that was 2020. That was terrible.
Okay.
That was terrible.
It's past it's certain movies that are past their prime, or they're just doing them no justice at all if they bring into the forefront.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what's happening. This let me see something. But yeah. But I think Bill and Ted I'm almost certain it was 2020.
Bill and Ted?
Yeah.
Bill and Ted Part 3, past its prime. Should have come out back in the 90s or something like that if they wanted to make one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 2020. It came out in 2020.
Oh,
yeah. I watched it though just because of nostalgia reasons. I was young, and when the first Bill and Ted came out, you know what I mean? That was, let me see.
I think it came out roughly 87 or 88 when the first one came out.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Could have been 89, but I think between 87 and 89 is when the first Bill and Ted came out. Excellent adventure.
Another decent movie. I'll give it 2.5 out of 5 Koofies. Just like my son's a big Carnage fan or Venom fan. The new Venom.
Okay. The
new Venom movie, Let There Be Carnage. That wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. My son's 7. Kids, they watch shit like 6, 7, 8 times. That's a movie that I didn't mind sitting through a few times. I liked it. I would like to see a third movie come out, but I would like to see the third movie in the Spider-Man universe.
I think they're trying to rumor it that Tom Hardy is leaving the franchise, though, right?
Is that right?
I think that's the rumor. I don't know. I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought they said Tom Hardy is trying to leave the franchise, and they're looking to replace him.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Now, there were some things that happened in the other Spider-Man that could leave a new Venom open. One movie I do want to see and I haven't seen yet is Dune.
Which one?
Dune.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Dune.
The book is great.
Right.
But I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm interested to see, and I heard that it was pretty good.
I'm a huge. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm a huge Dune fan. Read the book. Watch the movie. They have on YouTube Ultimate Edition version of Dune called the Spice Diver Edition from 1984. If you watch that version, and they have a 4K version of it, I think too. If you watch that version, it puts back in all the parts. Like it's like a 4-hour version of Dune from '84, and that's my favorite version of the film. And I did watch the new one, but I wasn't. I mean, it's okay, but I was frustrated because it leaves a lot out of the book, and and Dune 2021 doesn't follow the book. It follows the '84 movie basically, and then it has the new visuals, which are great, and has the modern sound music that they do. It's like boom, boom. It's like
give you that Dolby
like
digital sound
stomping down the street or something like that. That's the new music style. So sometimes that overpowers when the dialogue gets to be all whispery. So you know that, but it didn't impress me as much. And I think Uncle Hotep said the same thing for it when he watched it as well. He was saying, I gotta go back to the '84 version, but that Spice Diver version that they got on YouTube, y'all check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna check that out. It's a
4-hour. You gotta be ready to watch that 4 hour. 4 hour long.
Well, if I made it through the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League, I could do it, I guess.
Man,
but honestly, that Zack Snyder cut, it was long. It was long, but
you watch the black and white version or the color version. Yeah, different versions popping out.
Yeah, it was the original. I guess the colored version. It was
colored.
I don't like who plays the Flash though.
Man, neither do I.
I don't like. It's something about like the way he plays the Flash is not for me. I would rather them get the guy off the TV show to play the Flash.
Exactly. The old school dude. I'd rather see him as the Flash, but he'd be too old for it now. But yeah, I don't think he. To me, he's not. He's like an actor playing the part of the Flash. He's not like, how you see certain characters and you're like, oh man, come on, this is not the character.
Yeah, that's.
You see how the Kingpin though? You see?
Kingpin? Vincent D'Onofrio is great. Vincent D'Onofrio's a great Kingpin.
When you see him and he's like, I run this city, growling voice, you just like, oh shoot, it's the Kingpin.
Yeah,
he's arrived.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah, I like that. Like when he came out in Daredevil as the Kingpin, I was like, yo, he's a good ass Kingpin. Like, and the funny part is, I started to remember like the shitty Ben Affleck Daredevil, which was terrible. And they had Michael Clark Duncan, rest in peace, playing the Kingpin. Like I was like, that's when I first had my taste of like the Kingpin white. Why has he got a black Kingpin? You know what I mean? The only one that, in my opinion, that works as a tokenized character is
Jackson.
Samuel Jackson is Nick Fury. You know what I mean?
He's a good actor. I know everyone in the theater was like, "This not Nick Fury," but then they saw him.
He did a great job as Nick Fury. Yeah.
You just be like, okay, this is a Nick. He's doing the job. He's
right.
Doing the Nick Fury.
Right. He did a great job.
He did his thing with it.
Yeah.
Did you get to see Luca, the Disney cartoon Luca?
Yeah. That was actually a good movie. I sat down with my son and watched that. I liked it. I really did like Luca. It was pretty decent. On point.
Encanto.
I have not watched that yet. They were trying to get me to watch it last night, but I had to get up early this morning. I'm like, y'all, we're going to watch this later. So we're supposed to watch Encanto tonight.
It's taking place in Colombia. Bond. Did you see the new Bond?
No, I haven't seen that either. I got to check that out. Shoot, we may have to do a review on the new Bond. I'm a big Bond fan. I just haven't watched it yet. Other one I want to watch is...
For me, it was a 4 out of 4 Koofies on the Bond. I liked it a lot.
I'm going to check that out.
First, though, I was sitting there, listening to the other channels that were like, don't just go see the new Bond. They've done this and that to his character, and I was like, oh no, this sounds terrible. But I watched it at the IMAX, and it was on point. And it gives a lot of reminiscence to the other films that had come before it, especially On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
Oh, okay.
It really harkens back to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. So if you watch that No Time to Die, watch On Her Majesty's Secret first, then check out No Time to Die if you need a refresh. Okay. It takes you right back to On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And I was upset because no one was telling me that. I was like, oh shoot, this this has everything to do with Majesty's Secret Service, and then No Time to Die, basically.
Got you.
Did you see M. Night Shyamalan's Old?
What is it?
M. Night Shyamalan, his movie Old.
No, I didn't hear about it. I didn't even hear about it.
Shyamalan had a movie come out. It's called Old.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty good.
What's it about?
Man, I don't know if I can do the spoiler alert or not. Maybe I can't. I don't know. You gotta check it out. We can talk about it.
All right, so let's do this. All right, so I'm gonna watch No Time to Die.
Okay.
And I'm gonna watch Old. Okay. And then the next time we get together, we'll do both of those as a review. How about that?
Right. Sounds good.
Yeah, but I do like Daniel Craig as Bond. I do like Daniel Craig as Bond.
Did his thing.
Yeah. I think my least favorite Bond, even though he had a few movies, was what's his name?
Dalton?
Huh?
Was it Dalton?
No,
Timothy Dalton?
Not Timothy Dalton. Just before Daniel Craig, who was Bond?
Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan. He was my least favorite Bond.
Probably because he was in that show Remington Steele, which back in the 80s was pretty good. It was like when Roger Moore was in the TV series The Saint, and it was like he was constantly auditioning to be Bond. But what was wrong with his was a lot of CGI, and the scripts were always off.
It just seemed so campy.
That Nintendo 64 game,
GoldenEye. GoldenEye, that's a classic. That's a classic. Get the Golden Desert Eagle, man. Listen, me and my friends hours playing GoldenEye on 64.
And then they came out with the HD versions of it later on.
My mother used to kick us out the house like, y'all go outside and play or something. Y'all been on this game too much. That's how it always is. But so I'm see Old. Another one is my kids didn't want to watch it. I still want to watch it. It's Ron's Gone Wrong.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
It's another Disney. I think it's another Disney Plus thing. I think I've seen it on there or something like that. But I want to watch that. They say, we watching Canto first, and I'm like, okay, well, we can watch that first. I guess I'll be watching Ron's Gone Wrong myself. It looked like it's a funny little movie.
Yeah, it's a cool little movie. I actually think that they sometimes it seems like there was an overlap in the movies. The Mitchells, you know that Mitchells movie that come out earlier in the year?
Yeah.
About like the Ron Gone Wrong and the Mitchells is like almost the same story. Only one is taking place within a cell phone, the other one is taking place.
Yeah, the Mitchells was the one where they was taking the girl to college and like the cell phones came to life or something happened with like the electronics.
It's a lot.
That was a cool little movie too. I like that.
Watch the movie and compare them, and they're like, man, this is a lot alike.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
A lot of similarities with those two.
Yeah, I thought the Mitchells was funny. I liked it. It was pretty cool.
Turned it off before it got to the end, though. I said, kids, I think the movie's over now, kids. Switched it off.
I got forced.
Done. That was it.
Yeah, I got forced. They forced me to watch it, but I got into it. I thought it was a pretty funny little movie. But there's a lot of symbolism in that movie too. My opinion. You know,
you're right about that.
But that's how it is with a lot of these kids movies. A lot of these kids movies have because when you're a kid, you don't pick that shit up. As an adult, you see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you gotta be careful what you let your kids see.
Right. But other than that, I mean, it's a couple of. I haven't seen. I have seen the Eternals. The Eternals actually wasn't bad. The Eternals wasn't bad. I think the Eternals had some symbolism in it, but it was entertaining. It was a good movie. You know.
I didn't like it at all. I seen it and I was like, man, this movie's a mess. I think because the transhumanism, the way they did the brother robot, I was like, boy, what kind of message is this?
Yeah, that's true on that. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
If I had to give Eternals any kind of koofies, it'd get 0. It'd get none. No koofies for you, Eternals.
I guess because I was looking at where it could go and how they tried to do it. I guess it was happening after the snap?
Right.
But they're not affected by the snap.
Go back to the beginning of that movie Eternals. And look at the very beginning of the movie Eternals, it starts in Africa, and then they show nothing but white people running around on the beach. And say this is the beginning of civilization. You forgot about that. I'm gonna check it out. I
was like 15 minutes late to the movie. I'm gonna check that out. I might have missed that. I'm gonna go back and revisit that movie then.
This is civilization's beginning in Africa, and boom.
Oh my God, there's a bunch of white people.
Millions of white people is running around on the beach.
It was South Africa. God damn. I'm about to go back and
recheck. I'm about to starting off bad.
I'm about to go revisit that. Oh,
was you in the? Was you getting? Did you go and hit the popcorn run when the brother man was introducing his partner?
Oh no, I seen that.
Looking on him and all that. But
I seen that. Nowadays, I guess I expect that that they're going to shoehorn that down our throats in every movie we watch. You know what I mean? Like it's something that's like, man, I gotta kind of separate myself from those things just so I can enjoy a movie, because that's going to be more and more prevalent. Like even in Bruised, they did that with Halle Berry, and I'm like, why? What was the reason for this? For what? It's just, but it's going to get more and more prevalent. And it's like, it's like every movie's going to have it, or else the movie's not, because look at how, me and you brought it up before we got on, how like the real movie critics, you can't trust their opinion because they're getting paid by those organizations to say it's great.
They're getting money. They're getting invites. They're getting money. If they came out and said, "No, don't go watch this movie because it delves into this or that," and I didn't let my kids see it, they get their passes restricted.
Yep.
They get whatever social credit canceled.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're like, it's better for them to just sit there and say, "Hey, this movie was, top notch," even if it wasn't.
Right, and that's same thing with like Rotten Tomatoes. Like when I would look on Rotten Tomatoes for a movie, if the critic gave that shit thumbs down all the way across the board, but the audience said it was great, I'm like, I'm gonna go see it then. But if the audience said it was shit, and then the critic said it was like popcorn or whatever it is, like it must be a horrible movie. Because
and this one of the smaller movies I saw that in 2021 that I really liked was Coda, and that came on Netflix. I don't know if you saw that. That was about the children of I don't know, a child of a deaf adult. Coda.
No, I didn't hear about that.
It was a drama, but it was really good.
Coda.
And,
okay.
Yeah, and they had a wrestling another wrestling film came out too, little known, called Triumph, and that was good. And a football movie that came out called 12 Mighty Orphans, and that was another good one. So a couple little films that go underneath the radar because they don't have these, the giant agenda. There's no really no agendas getting pushed in them really. So they kind of slip under the radar, but they were really excellent films.
Yeah, I'm at to get those film names from you again so I can check them out.
I will. All right. Right.
But like, let's see. I'm on Rotten Tomatoes website right now. See what let me see what this is. So like Spider-Man, right? Let's go with the Spider-Man from 2002. Critics gave it a 90%. Audience gave it 67%.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like it's always a big thing. Let's see. Let There Be Carnage, right? The new Venom movie. Critics 58%. Audience gave it an 84%. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a disconnect.
Yeah, it's a huge
what
disconnect.
The mainstream critics is saying and what the audience is saying.
Right.
It's a disconnect.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's always like that. Like The Matrix got 65%. What they get? Let me see what they.
I came across this house with.
See that? I'll see what this is. There we go. Well, it's even. So even the audience gave it critics gave it 65%. Audience gave it 64%.
Pretty spot on with that one.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's just like I said, that movie was it was just it was rushed. Like
was
I said,
it? Okay.
No character development, none of that. It was just a rushed movie.
Yes, it's some of the movies that are outside the the Disney stuff they do that gets them kind of treatments. Did you start up the new the Star Wars, the Boba Fett thing? Did you start watching that?
Yeah, I did. I'm into it right now. I'm kind of feeling it right now.
Okay. That first episode was
first
by
episode.
Robert Rodriguez, who did the Spy Kids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I liked it a little bit, but I don't know. I'm thinking that it's going to start getting better. That was just the taste of what's supposed to come, I guess. So I was like, oh, okay. I see where y'all could be going with this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how it develops. I like the Hawkeye, though. I saw that.
Yeah, Hawkeye was great. I like how Disney's taking like the obscure characters and making them more prevalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I liked Hawkeye. That was pretty. That was my kids loved it too. My daughter now she want to go shoot a bow and arrow now. You know what I mean? It was really
funny
good.
how they give good treatment to some films, and then some things like Home Alone.
Yeah.
Try to do a Home Alone film.
Yeah.
And wrecked it. I started watching it. I think I turned it off about 40 minutes in. It was just
I didn't.
Bad.
My kids was teeth out, slapping a knee, just laughing. I was like, "This is terrible. What are y'all laughing at? This is not funny."
That's gonna be this generation's Home Alone.
Yeah, exactly what it's gonna be.
Macaulay Culkin was who?
Yeah, exactly. Macaulay who?
No.
So I'm gonna take back Matrix being the worst movie I've seen this year.
Okay. And then its replacement is
Candyman was the worst movie I have seen in my life. The new Candyman.
Candyman by Brother Pilon.
It was horrible. Is that who made that shit? It was terrible. Was it Pilon? You like that?
One of them Key and Peele people made the Candyman.
Oh, I thought you said you liked it. I thought that movie was the worst. You talk about agenda driven. Oh my God.
My brother said he saw it.
It was bad.
It was an advertisement for BLM or something like that. I don't know.
What? Man.
Donation.
The entire way.
With donations out and say, okay, come give me your donation.
The entire way. I don't think one black person got killed in that movie.
Is that right?
I'm not lying.
So Sean King got it.
It was
Sean King gets killed in the first scene.
Sean King might have cried and clapped in that movie, man. It was.
Oh Lord.
That was the worst movie I ever seen. I said, why would they make this? And why they thought this was good? And the funny part is the audience gave it a 72%, and the critics gave it an 84%. And in 5 or 10 years, when somebody revisits that movie, they should say this shit just deleted from the vault. That movie was terrible, terrible. And that's the same dude that played Morpheus in the new Matrix.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. And I don't know that cat's name. He has
it's like Yaya or some shit like that. Isn't it like Yaya or some shit like that? Some made up name. But it was terrible. Here we go. The director Nina DaCosta. Don't know who that is. Jordan Peele was a writer. Jordan Peele was a writer.
Okay, Jordan Peele was the writer.
He was a writer.
I knew them Key and Peele people was behind it because Peele has been into the horror genre ever since he started messing around with the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it grossed 61 million. I don't know what it cost to make it. I mean, it looked like a shoestring, but the movie was terrible. It was just terrible. I recommend they make another movie just like it and throw them both in the trash can.
Okay.
It was terrible, but that's all I got.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Kenny.
Not a problem, man. I appreciate it. It was fun. So like I said, I'm gonna
come back and do it again. We'll come back and homework. We'll watch was it Old? Anything that you got for me? I need to check out too. Old, No Time to Die, the James Bond.
Yep.
You still got to see Encanto.
Yeah, I'm watching that tonight with the kids. So, 7:30. Yeah, we probably watch that in another 30 minutes, and then.
All right.
I'll be ready for you next time.
Okay, no problem.
All right, man. So. This was fun, man. Like I said, I'll watch those movies and then we'll get back to it. So.
Okay, most definitely.
All right, salute to you.